Hello and welcome back to Flint Briar. Obviously I'm Gareth still. Sitting out on the front porch. I knew if I didn't enjoy a pipe now I wasn't going to later on today because it's going to be unfortunately another hot day, over 100 here, like yesterday. So I figured I better come out now. Oh yeah, this is one of the pipes I bought recently. It's a Soren, Danish freehand. A state pipe. I think they said it was unsmoked, but I'm pretty sure it was. But very, very lightly used. The stem shows basically no signs of wear whatsoever. But I like it. First Danish freehand I have. Smoking some Lane Ltd 1Q just because I had to try the stuff. You always hear it talked about. It's, supposedly the #1 most smoked pipe tobacco in the U.S. So figured I'd try it out. It's good. It's kind of a good standard aromatic, I guess. September's here, and I guess that means it's theoretically meteorological fall, even though it shouldn't feel like it. Of course, it never does really at the beginning of September. Have to wait a few more weeks here until it's astronomical fall at the equinox. Labor Day is tomorrow. Got a short work week, so I'm only working 3 days. Because on Friday, my wife and I are headed out to Colorado to meet up with most of my family out there. Gonna do a little memorial service, kind of, not really service, but ash scattering, I guess you could say, up in the mountains for my brother-in-law, who he died back in April of 2020, not from COVID, but this whole ash scattering thing was supposed to have happened a long time ago, and at one point in time my sister said that it wasn't going to, but here we are doing it, which is good. I actually, my brother-in-law, he killed himself, and back in 2020, that fall, for the first time I was participating in an event called 46 Climbs, which it raises money for suicide prevention, and I thought that would be a good way to honor him, to honor Rick. So I decided to do it, and with 46 Climbs, what you do is you like designate some mountain you want to climb, or a trail to hike, or what. You can pretty much do whatever. And then you're supposed to go do that during the first week of September. So it's this week. It's going on now. I'm going to be doing my little thing a little bit late, but that's all right. And you just raise donations. So back in 2020, my main 46 Climbs event thing was going out to Colorado and climbing all the 14ers, all the 14,000 plus foot mountains in the Mosquito 10-mile range, which is kind of the group of mountains which is near Breckenridge, Colorado, like Fairplay, Colorado. There's 5 of them. 3 of them are kind of grouped together in a group. You climb them all together, and then the other 2 are separate. And they're pretty easy mountains. So you just hike up them, basically. Hike up and down them. But I decided I wanted to try to do all 5 of them in 24 hours. because about 9 years before that, or 8 years before, I had done all of them in a weekend, and it took me 36 hours or something, 34 hours, something like that. But I wanted to see if I could go back and do it quicker. And I did. I got them done all in like 22 hours. That's a story. I'll save that story for another time, though. And I took some Rick's ashes. I had some Rick's ashes with me that whole time, and then I put some of them on top of Quandary Peak, which was the last mountain I climbed in the middle of the night. But before that, it's kind of my warm-up. I backpacked the 4-pass loop around the Maroon Bells in near Aspen. That's kind of a story for a different time too, because I didn't take the normal route. I actually kind of used a different approach, which added a lot of mileage, but it was worth it. But I scattered some of Rick's ashes on most of those. I forgot to scatter some of his ashes on Buckskin Pass, but I did on the other 3 passes of that route, and I put some of them up near the Maroon Bells, kind of in front of them. There's no front to them, obviously, but the usual view you see of them, the classic view, in front of them from that perspective, kind of up between them a bit. So I had, and then the next fall I went out and did something kind of similar. So I've had several experiences taking some of Rick's ashes out in the mountains and scattering them in some really cool, neat-looking spots. So I was able to do that. The rest of my family hasn't. I'm assuming my sister has probably scattered some of his ashes somewhere. But obviously not out in Colorado. My sister lives in Virginia. They lived in Virginia. But we're going out there and gonna scatter some of Rick's ashes out there and somewhere in Rocky Mountain National Park, and my plan is to hike up to Chasm Lake near Long's Peak. I was gonna do something a little bit more adventurous, but the whole hernia surgery thing kind of put a dent in those plans. But gonna hike up to Chasm Lake and maybe enjoy a pipe up there. But I'll put a link in the description here to my 46 climbs thing. If you want to donate some money to suicide prevention, you're welcome to do so. That first year I raised way more than I ever would have imagined. I don't think it was $2,000, but it was close. I was really overwhelmed at how much I raised. The next year I raised quite a bit still. Last year I didn't raise as much, and this year I don't know if I just haven't done a good job of getting the idea out that I'm doing it or whatever. But haven't done so great fundraising so far this year. But I'll put the link down in the description. You can donate if you want to. If not, that's fine. But here in about a week, hopefully I'll be up at Chasm Lake or hiking down from it. So, I'll talk to you later. I'm Gareth of Flint Hills Briar. Thanks for joining me.